and welcome to Windblowers of Nottingham. I'm joined today by Alistair Parnell, who is here to talk about the new Roland Aerophone. Hello, Alistair.
Hi.
What is the Aerophone?
So this is a digital wind instrument. It's meant to be set up to feel pretty familiar for a saxophone player, and basically what it allows a saxophone player to do is something similar to how a keyboard player might do, not only just play a piano sound but to play lots of other sounds as well, instrumental sounds, synthesizer sounds, all sorts of instrument sounds, everything. Yes.
Right. So is the key work similar to the saxophone?
Yeah, so it's been laid out with all the palm keys and side keys, little finger keys, all in the usual place that a saxophone player is used to. And we've got octave keys on the back. Now this can be set up initially just to be a 1 octave up and down, just like a saxophone would play. So that's going to feel very comfortable.
Right. And can you extend the range?
Yeah, if you want to, when you get more familiar with the instrument, you can go into the menu and you can extend it right up to 7 or 8 octaves. So for something like a synthesizer sound, you might want to play very high or very low. So you've got plenty of options there.
Wow. So the fingering is very similar to the saxophone. What about the mouthpiece?
Yeah, so the mouthpiece is going to feel familiar to a saxophone player. It's got a pretty similar shape perhaps to maybe a soprano sax mouthpiece. It does have a reed, but the reed won't actually be vibrating. But what the reed does, it does sense how hard you're biting with your lip. So there is a sensor inside to measure how hard you're blowing. And there's also a little sensor on the lip there to get things like vibrato and lip bends if you want to give it more expression.
Right, right. And the key of the instrument? Is it a transposing instrument?
Yeah, that's a good question. So on this one, what they've done is they've set all the instruments up to be in their native key. So if you play an E-flat saxophone, it's already set to be in E-flat.
Right.
And if you're playing a B-flat saxophone sound, it's already in B-flat for you. So it's all taken care of. But if you want to, you can change the key of any of the instruments and save it into your own little memory slot. So you could even play an alto saxophone in the key of G sharp if you wanted to. You know, you can have all sorts of options here, which means that you can play lots of different types of music. That's one of the big advantages. A saxophone player now can go and maybe play off piano music or play off flute music or anything, because we can change key on this quite easily.
Right. And how does the Aerophone compare with other wind synths on the market?
Yeah, so as I say, this is the first time that Roland are one of the biggest tech companies for musical instruments. This is the first time they've made a wind synthesizer, and what they've brought to this instrument is primarily, you know, years and years of experience in making electronic instruments, but also in their sound quality. So they've got some really nice sounds in here, and as I say, the big thing is the key layout, but we've also got some other options that aren't available in the other wind synthesizers. Things like the menu system on the back is actually driven by a nice LED screen here. So this makes it really comfortable to see what you're adjusting. On previous models from other companies, there's been quite a difficult combination of switches and things that you've had to learn how to do. Everything's nice and clear on here. We've also got 2 built-in speakers. Now they're only really quite small speakers and they don't sound great. You wouldn't use them in performance. It's really quite useful for that.
Wow,
yeah.
Fantastic. And it looks like the keys actually move?
Yes, that's the other big point. So on some of the other wind instruments, electronic wind instruments, the keys have been touch sensitive. That's nice in one way, but it's caused a problem particularly for people starting out on the instrument, because they accidentally press a key and then it triggers all sorts of notes that they don't really want to. So this is a very positive, smooth key action that feels again quite familiar for the saxophone player.
Right. Well, I think it's time to hear what it sounds like.
Yeah, so I'll play you a couple of little sounds. This is a good sound. This really demonstrates the synthesizer sort of sound, but also if you listen carefully, you can hear the kind of control we're getting with the dynamic range and also with the articulation. good breath control there.
Yes.
You've got the dynamic range, you've got the articulation, so when I tong it makes a different sound to the sound that I make if I play with a smooth attack. Here's a smooth attack. And a tong really picks up the way that a saxophone player would play.
Yes.
We've got some other sounds, a nice harmonica. Yeah. Other synthesizer sounds, but what I want to show you is maybe something like a trumpet. We can turn that into a muted trumpet. Yeah. There's quite a nice kind of jazzy organ. Yeah. Some nice jazz scat singing. And I can even form chords if I use the hold key. This is always a crowd pleaser. We've got a good grand church organ. So it's pretty impressive for the sounds.
So how many sounds does it have built in?
So it's going to come out of the factory with 40 sounds, but they're going to very quickly extend right up to 100 different sounds.
Right. And so there's a mixture of synthesized sounds and sampled sounds in it.
That's right, that's right. There's some instrument sounds. So what I feel this can be very useful for is there's a few options here. Maybe a musician working in a theatre pit or something would be able to put in a little bit of, say, oboe or bassoon or a synthesizer or even a string sound. We've got some string sounds. Okay. Yeah. You want to hear a little bit of violin?
Yeah.
And a nice cello. So a pit musician could use it, or if you're playing shows. I think it would be very useful in schools, because some schools don't have, say, a French horn player or something, and you could get a child to play, say, the French horn sound in an orchestra to expand your range of instruments. I tell you another thing I use this for, of course, we can use this to connect to the computer.
Ah, right.
So we can get a vast array of sounds on the computer, all sorts of very good quality sounds. We can record straight into the computer because we've got some good ports here that we can connect. We've got USB. We've got the 1/4 inch out for the headphones or to the amplifier, and this is great. This is a little MP3 input here, so you can play along with your backing tracks and have your headphones on, and you're a self-contained little studio. But going out of the USB, I can go into anything on the computer. I can also go into something like Sibelius. So now if a wind player doesn't have a keyboard facility to play into Sibelius, they could connect to Sibelius through this and play. Whatever they play comes up as printed music on Sibelius. So lots of uses.
So lots of people have their backings on their mobile phones, for example, so you can plug in your mobile phone.
That's it, mobile phone straight into here, headphones into here, and you're a little self-contained studio.
Or the sounds will play through the speakers of the actual instrument.
You can do that through the speakers as well if you want to, maybe just to play for a couple of friends close by or something.
And is this battery operated?
Absolutely, yes. There's battery in here, there's 6 AA batteries. And you also get with it a mains adapter, so you don't have to keep using the battery if you don't want to. Also, you might think it's a rather unusual shape, of course, so it would be hard to get a case for this, but it comes with a case. It comes with a nice compact case which is shaped exactly to fit this, so it's really light and portable as well.
Nice. Fantastic. So you're only limited by your imagination with the Aerophone.
Yeah, absolutely, it's great fun. But be warned, you might have a lot of late nights playing while everybody's asleep.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Alistair, for coming along. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found our video informative. Please visit our website, windblowers.com, if you'd like more information on the Aerophone. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.